What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys had a great week. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the TGC podcast. And today we're going to be talking about urban education and the significance of black educators in the school system. But before we get into that, we want to honor Black History Month and give you guys a few amazing black facts from some amazing black historical figures. And today, Hase Trek is going to be starting us off.
What's going on, y'all? The person that I'm using today. Also, I'm just going to use two people from the Black Panther Party, whose books that I've read and I've enjoyed these books. I chose Eldridge Cleaver. His book was called Soul on Ice, and Eldridge Cleaver was a Black Panther. Before that, he spent some time in jail, and basically, his book Soul on Ice uh, synthesizes his prison experience and he also became like a political guy as well, almost running for president at one point. Then we have Afeni Shakur. We know how it's Tupac's mom, but she also had a background in being a Black Panther, had a vital role as well. Uh, was one of those people that after reading her book, I never knew how much of an influence that she did have, but she was very proactive and very high in the ranks in terms of hierarchy in the Black Panthers organization. And just both of those, I read their books and they had a lot of great information in there in terms of their experience during that time and a lot of the things that was going on during that movement. So I just wanted to celebrate Afeni Shakur and Eldridge Cleaver. And Eldridge Cleaver's book is also to our young listeners part of that Nipsey Hussle's book club. So if you get a chance, definitely check out both for sure. Eldridge Cleaver.
All right, and so we want to check in with each other, let you guys know how our week was going. And I'm going to start off for myself. I had a pretty basic week. Nothing really interesting to happen. Just working at the school, testing, getting these kids to get to the proper level to pass the state test. Because you know that MJ Slay is coming up, so I've been focused on doing that. So how was your week going? So what's going on with y'all?
Well, my week was a fucking recovery off the weekend. You know, it was my birthday weekend, so I was chilling.
Getting old.
Getting motherfucking 53, you know what I mean? Nice little ripe age, so I had to give myself right this week. You know what I mean? So I just been recovering off of that. But you know how that go, getting right back into the work week in real life and everything that's still gonna be here after you get finished having fun and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is getting back to my regular day routine. And the week going by so far, pretty good. Can't complain because nobody give a fuck. That's it.
Shit, my week's alright. I got a little struggle going on with myself right now. It's like an everyday struggle because like I just I just gotta have more. I just want to do more. Like, just the job is just not cutting. Yeah, I just want to be a businessman. That's it.
Do time, bro.
Yeah.
Thing that week has been kind of stressful. Work, just here in this therapy session with the bros. Y'all stay tuned in with us. Thank you.
Man, professional over here.
My recap of the week. It's been a good week. Been going through my little challenges with work, just trying to still adjust. I feel like I'm always just trying to figure out ways to get better daily. So that's mainly my goals, man. Just trying to get better daily and just have productive days and whatever comes that way, you just deal with it. You know, that's life. But my name Hase Trek, man, and we're gonna keep pushing, man. Vaughn, what you got going on?
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Vaughn. My week been pretty good. It's just a simple, same work week, 12 hours, getting it done. Ain't really got a choice. Bills got to be paid. Money got to come in. So that's pretty much been it. Working on my t-shirts. About to start. The weather about to break, so I'm about to get back into my pictures and all that. So we definitely got some heat coming for everybody. So that's it. That's how my week been.
And one thing that we all have in common within this room is that there is a lack of black faces, of black educators within the school system. You look around and all of the lunch aides are usually black, and the janitors are usually black. But the people who are growing your brains and teaching your kids and putting your kids into the world to interact with their own are usually Spanish or white. And so we're going to talk about the impact of having black educators in the school system. It's crazy. As an educator, I love my staff and I love working in education, but the way
that these tests are set up, these state tests, the way they stress out these kids. I work with the special needs and populace, and for them to, even though they modify it, they still have the same expectations overall of these students performing on the same level as the normal populace. And it stresses me out as an educator, as a black educator, to see these kids have to do these tests for 2-3 hours at a time. And this week has been really rough because when my kids stress out, I stress out, and I tend to bring that shit home because I love what I do. And I swear, if it wasn't for my fourth grade staff here, I don't think I could make it. Fortunately, I work with a bunch of really great people.
Hey, Des, is this the park test?
It's not even park
No
yet,
park.
bro. This is just their quarterly assessment. Can you guys think back and remember when we was in 8th grade, we had to take the HESPA and the GAPA and the staff.
And that was hell.
And
That was hell.
Hold on.
I was waiting to say that,
It was
right?
crazy.
Looking back on school,
That shit was hell.
what these kids gotta go through, that shit is not right. It's
Nah.
not right. It's not right at all. It's
Right.
like that's a whole stress. Like waking up that early in the morning. That's
Yep.
I've delivered the milk to the schools, so I
Bro.
know.
It's
Like,
putting a lot on
it
kids.
be kids outside at the bus stop 5 o'clock in the morning, 6:30. Like you want to be in
Crazy.
the house sleep. That's wrong as
Crazy.
fuck. Like why should a kid, 11 years old, 10 years old, 9 years old, have to wake up that early in the morning? Like,
that
field.
that's a whole robot life.
Yeah,
bro.
that's,
Hey, yo.
that's exactly
Less
what it is.
sleep
That's
and more
fucked up.
work.
Hey, yo,
yeah, just,
bro.
just get to
Ass
work.
up.
Hit the bed.
Kid-
Soon as the sun go up, so your ass to get up.
Like
and
I watch
work
kids
for it.
walk across the street, like half asleep, head down there,
Bro.
paying attention to
Yeah.
nothing.
Hey,
Just
Des, I know
walking.
you could agree with this. I worked in the KIPP school system like you, bro. One of the biggest things I had was that they don't allow kids to be kids. They basically adapt kids to be workers.
Working.
And they get a 20-minute lunch break to have fun, and everything else is don't talk in the hallway, don't talk in the classroom. It's so much structure that you don't know what you should do, and it's almost a conundrum. It's the difficulty. It's confusing to kids. Like, yo, so that's why you have so much outlandish behavior, because kids are trying to just be themselves, but they're not allowed to be themselves because it's so much structure.
The
My
amount
son in KIPP schools, he get calls every day just for talking.
And it's like that's not a
Just
real
for
issue. The amount of
he finishes
attention
work,
they're trying to get
he
them to
get it.
process,
He get good
like,
grades and everything, but it's just be him in class, like conversing with his
That
classmates,
extra time is just
and
like,
it bothers the
being a
teacher
kid.
so much they calling every day about that.
That's
Oh,
not
he
the
talking-
real
you know
issue.
why, though?
like,
Because
what you want him to be, a
she trying
fucking
to do
robot?
it. She trying to do her job, and he trying to be a kid. And
That's it.
That shit is class.
And you know what? My biggest difficulty was that a lot of these teachers that teach in KIPP schools, they don't really embody the culture. They don't know. I used to tell teachers, I say, yo, you can criticize a kid, but you don't know that he didn't eat this morning. Or you don't know that he had to stay up because it was gunshots ringing outside his house all night. So he didn't sleep. So I was the teacher. Yo, I'd be like, yo, come talk to me. Or I'd be like, yo, you ain't eat? Yo, I'm going to go get you breakfast myself. Because I know what it's like. Yo, I lived on Grumman. I lived in Irvington. I remember having to get on the floor. My mom's be like, yo, get on the floor. They shooting. My mom is covering me. So I know both sides of the fence. I know what it's like to live pretty decent, and I know what it's like to live fucked up. I lived on Prince Street. I lived on right there on by Martin Luther King, right by Prince Town. I lived in there. I remember having to walk through the corridor where it was glass, a bunch of glass bottles stacked up. So for me, I look at the kid perspective more than I look at the teacher perspective. A lot of these teachers don't even get a fucking corner store sandwich. They don't even get a $2.50 sub from the store. So you can't tell this kid not to feel how he feel because you don't know he didn't sleep last night. You didn't know he didn't eat breakfast. I was a dude, if you didn't put deodorant on, I'm going to go get you deodorant. Because I know at the end of the day that your life is not what people think that your life should be. And we got a lot of teachers working in this charter school that don't understand what it's about. It's about the lifestyle, and you got to support the lifestyle before you support the curriculum. The curriculum don't mean nothing if I ain't sleep last night. It don't mean nothing if I ain't eat in 2 days. You feel me? That's the truth. That's the truth.
There's nothing
Yo.
but the truth, but they didn't grow up in it, so they don't understand.
Look, so the other day, right, I'm delivering milk to this charter school in the South Bronx, right? So the guy that says is the same guy who receives the milk every day, right? So I get to him, he's standing at the milk chest. I get to him, right? So while we standing there, we basically greeting each other. The kid just walks in between us, you know,
like we not even standing there. Almost falls over the milk, grabs a cup, goes to the water fountain, which is in between, and just start drinking water. Hands his buddy a cup. Nobody says excuse me. Nobody says nothing. But right after that, we both said something to each other about it. Like, yeah, kids today they don't, school is different, and it just brought to mind. It brought to mind a different scenario I went through at another school. Well, I come in with the milk and the kids just running crazy. Like I'm like going back and forth. I don't know which way to turn, which way to go. Should I go? Should I not? Like I look like I'm in the middle of a race or something like that, going the wrong way, right? But I say this to say, like the teachers and all that, like nobody's paying the kids no attention. Like everybody else just off having a different conversation. Like it got to be some type of like. They gotta treat the kid like it's not even about. It's not even like the same.
The teacher's not treating us
It's
with
about
the same love that we got.
It's like fucking.
The
It's
teacher's
all
not
about
teaching
business
with no
now.
love like how we used to get when we was getting teached.
No, because it's a
We
business
all had
now.
the same
They need their
teachers.
paycheck.
We
That's
had the
all it
same
is.
teachers.
From a
We got
perspective
teachers
of an
that
educator,
stand out, right?
we have when you have a disconnect between administration and the actual teachers, it puts so much stress on the teacher. It's just like
Exactly.
it becomes hard to show that love to these students. And when they stuff the classrooms at 32, 35 students
That's crazy.
per
That's too
per
crazy.
one teacher.
That's too crazy.
It's hard to
That's
fucking
too
stay
crazy.
focused. And then you got to take that stress on. You got one kid, she just lost her father.
My aunt,
You got one kid, he's not getting fed. You got another student, this nigga wore the same shirt for the last
Real
2
issues.
weeks.
All right, so
Real
can I ask
issues.
a question?
As an
Can I ask a
educator,
question?
you have to deal
Can I
with
ask a
these
question?
kids' problems.
At that point, do it ever come down to you a point where you ask yourself, or to you say to yourself, "I'm not getting paid for this.
I say that shit all. I know I'm not getting paid
to deal
enough.
with this."
Nigga, I come in, I buy my kids
Yeah,
clothes.
That's the
I buy-
problem. Like,
and I know I'm
It
spending
does.
my money. My
you
school's
working-
not reimbursing me for shit.
Hey, Des, you
But
do it
I
from
know
the
that
heart.
this child
You
needs
doing
it.
it from the
Because if
heart.
I don't fucking do it, this child may die in the fold. And I'm not going to let this child be lost in the system when I have a chance to change his motherfucking life.
Facts.
I'm not going to lose it. Fuck it. I'll pay this $100 for to get this nigga some clothes. I'll take this nigga out to get some fucking lunch. Why? Because it's going to change it. I got a student right now. This nigga name is Junior Medina. I taught this nigga my first student 6 years ago. He just hit me up on Instagram and let me know I'm finally out of the 504 program, and it's all thanks to him.
Appreciate that,
Because of what I
Des.
did for him.
Yeah.
And that was enough for me to
It's
know.
definitely
Fuck,
appreciated,
even
bro.
though this school is not giving me what I feel like I need, I'm giving what these kids need from me.
That's community service, Des.
You understand what I'm
That's
saying?
what that's called.
You
That's
understand
community.
what I'm
That's
saying?
that's real
Shit,
community
that's a
service.
blessing, bro.
like that point
That's real
right there,
community
like
service.
it
That's
make
a
you,
blessing, bro.
it'll make you mad at like other people like who are in a position to do better things, like for situations like that. Like a person, like a teacher in that situation, like you should never even have to think like, oh, damn, I'm not getting paid for this, or like, damn, I gotta go through this extra
gotta
shit,
just be
or I gotta do
thinking
this
as a
extra
human
shit.
being.
You shouldn't even have to think
You're
about
right.
that.
You're right.
Not
You're
a
right.
profession.
Exactly.
You right.
Man.
Exactly.
I
And it
all
don't
you
matter
should have
what
to
I
color
agree.
it is or nothing. You just thinking as a human being at that point.
But
Like,
a lot
yo,
of-
if
a
this
lot
was
of
your
people
child going through this, what would you be doing for that
Yeah.
child?
Sometimes we do have to take that drawback and be like, I'm not here to please this administration. I'm here to serve these kids.
Yes,
That's
yes.
That's all
my
it's about.
community.
Hey, Des.
And once you get in that mindset, the job becomes a lot fucking easier and a lot less stressful.
That's what the
son.
job is about, Des.
That's what it's all about, son.
Hey, yo, can I talk to you one-on-one?
Absolutely.
Hey, yo, when I worked in the school system, I had a kid. I always talk about this kid. This kid, he know who he is. I'm going to say Elijah. That's all I'm going to give. But this kid, I come to grips with who I work with, because you always got to realize who you work with. It's not going to be the population of what everybody thinks. Like, oh, this kid is going to be great. He's going to be. No, the kids I work with are imperfect, and I accept that just because I am imperfect. I come from the same grounds of which they lived through. And I had a kid that I used to work with, and I used to pick him up on Saturdays. He used to do basketball camp with me. He noticed the truth. I would pick him up, and I would call his parents and say, listen, I'll be there in 5 minutes, but this kid was outside. So I knew this kid kind of structured his own type of lifestyle.
Right.
His parents, his parents didn't really run the show. He ran the show. His parents went along with it. I used to call his parents when he got in trouble. It really wasn't nothing. But then I realized that he just needed guidance, because even though his dad was there, his dad wasn't really effective.
Right.
His dad just worked.
Right. He was just a body.
Exactly.
He wasn't a firm structure in his life.
So when I got there, Every time I got there, I pick them up. I make sure we eat Wendy's, we eat something. But yet, I would teach them certain goals. I say, yo, you set up all the balls for the kids that I'm gonna have basketball practice
Right.
with. You get the
Right.
cones out. You set the cones up for them.
Right.
He had a job to do. Every time he got with me, he loved it. And you know what's fucked up about it? Like, I got fired from the school. Y'all read the book Circle of Pain. Yeah, I'm gonna promote low key, but beyond that, I'm gonna say like, yo, one of the biggest things I learned to really learn other people's experience, because I learned a lot from kids. Like when I worked with the kids, I learned a lot from the kids, man. And seeing his lifestyle, I knew he would be one of those kids that would control his destiny, which means that the streets, if he saw the streets as the best option, he gonna follow that. You know what I mean? Because his parents wasn't the ideal. They wasn't the ideal people to go to if you had advice or if you had any concerns. And the thing with me was that when I seen that, I was like, yo, I got to step in somehow. You know, I wound up getting fired because I made some bad actions, you know, and I admit that in the book. But beyond that, you know, I know my cause and my effect in the school was major. A lot of kids, like even all the kids I dealt with, their behavior changed.
Absolutely.
Every kid I dealt with, their behavior changed. You know, my kid, one of the kids was called Debo. That's how bad he was. We know who Debo is from Friday. Debo is a bully.
Hold up, though. Why are they calling a kid in this era something from 20-something years ago? That's
the influence.
How behind they are. Bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
His name was Debo, but one of the things about him, he was a great kid, and we learned each other. And when I wound up going to Kip, one thing about Kip will make you find yourself. It'll make you find yourself as a person, and I had to realize that Kip ultimately led to Hasay Trek. That's why I'm Hasay Trek, because Kip played the big part in that. When I realized I had a greater purpose as a purpose, and that I could do more, and I could affect the kids in a different manner, I was like, yo, that's deep. You know, this Tuesday, me and Nani, Monty gonna be my photographer to take pictures for me for an event. We're gonna be at Bainbridge High School, man. I just need a free fix, man. So make sure you make. But we'll be speaking to the kids, man. Yeah, man. And the goal is, man, we reaching, man. We reaching. Beyond all, do anything we reaching, man. We making those strides to really impact the kids in a positive manner, man. I big up Dez because I see what he do, and I know how hard his job is. Your job ain't easy, bro. I know what it is to come in there every day, and yet sometimes your emotions ain't the same. Sometimes you might have to deal with the bills, and you might have to deal with personal relationships, and you gotta come in every day and act like shit good. You gotta act like shit good,
and then I gotta absorb whatever emotions that they bring into it and make them understand that it's not your fault. You still are better than this. You still here to grow your brain. You still a good person. Sometimes these kids come in. I got one student. Her father was taken by the streets, and her attitude was absolutely 180. And she had such a bad attitude, but we can't, as an educator, we can't be like, F her, she's a bad kid now. Nah. She lost a significant figure in her life. So as a black man, I have to be somewhat of a positive black male figure that he was to her. And if I'm not, she will be taken, son. She will go out here with this bad attitude to grow up and feel like, fuck the world, don't nobody love me. She gonna fuck around and fuck the wrong type of men because she ain't got no kind of structure. Her father is no longer there, and I feel like I can prevent that, and all I gotta do is just be there. I don't necessarily have to teach her motherfucking thing, but when her tears is falling, I need to be there. As not even an educator, but as a fucking black man,
empathy.
as a person.
That's called empathy.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And that aspect of education is being lost, that empathy, that being able to connect with these kids.
I'm pretty sure Nafis can relate to that too, because he's a father of daughters. So Nafis know what it's like to kind of have to change your moves.
Like the changing the mood, like it's different because even if you're not ready yourself, like even if you still just I just want to have fun, or I'm just not ready yet. Like I'm just not that age where I want to fully accept that responsibility. The responsibility itself is going to make you accept it. Like you have no other choice. Like if you're a conscious human being, you have no choice but to accept that responsibility. Like, and accepting that responsibility as a parent, it changed your whole life. Like you have no choice but to man up. You have no choice but to Get rid of the foolish ways. Like you got to do everything the right way because now you got kids looking at you. Not only do you got young girls looking at you. Like it's totally different.
QG can relate, and I know Juan because Juan got to raise his younger sister. QG, yo, run down your situation with your daughter and things that you prep, bro. Like,
It just be everything, man. My daughter, like how a nigga would probably want a son and have a son and be teaching their son to be like them. You know that's the stigma. Like you want to teach your son and make him be like how you was. But I don't want to teach my son to be the fuck like how I was. You know what I'm saying? Because the shit we was going through at the time ain't relevant to what's going on right now. Right now it's a different game. Like it's a different game. So you definitely not trying to teach your child some shit from back in the day how we grew up because that shit it ain't gonna benefit from that. Because we ain't benefit from that. We lucky we rose above that shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when you got a daughter, that shit be on some other shit. Man. That shit be on some other shit, bro. Because you know how much shit is out here, how unsafe it is, bro. It's some sick people out here. It's some sick motherfuckers out here, yo.
The relationship, I feel like the relationship is more authentic with kids when when I used to work, I would see my kids in stores and barbershops and stuff, and I think that makes the relationship with the kids more authentic. You know, if I could go ahead and know Mr. Davis at the school gonna be playing basketball at the same park I play at on Saturdays with my dad and stuff like that, it makes relationship building better. It makes a lot of things better. It normalizes men showing emotion towards each other because you know when you have black educators in the building now, you don't just see aggressive men all the time. You see somebody that can confront another man or say, "Listen, you know, your son struggled a little bit today, but this is what we worked on. Yo, try this out with him." So now we get to see functioning black men, you know, and these are people that's in different occupations. His dad he don't work in the school. He may be, you know, a garbage man. He may be a chef somewhere. He may be a policeman. He could be anything. But then we know my teacher has his role. He's the teacher. But just seeing all that integration between, or like just that conversation piece between men in a positive way more, it has a major impact. Definitely.
Know what I mean? And then in white schools, they don't focus on that because they really don't have to. Because those kids don't face the same type of struggles that we face. Like them kids don't normally know what it is to not eat. They don't know nothing about that. So having a black teacher in a black school that been through these struggles, we can relate differently. And that's when the emotional aspect come in because I'm not gonna see a kid coming and he's struggling and I've been through that and I'm not gonna do anything. Nigga, if you hungry, you going to McDonald's, bro. You having lunch. You understand me? I believe firmly in free lunch. I mean, all kids should have free lunch. That's a necessity.
I don't understand that.
That's a
That's
necessity.
I do not understand that.
You understand? So I go buy a kid lunch.
Can I add to free lunch back to Black Panther? They was a major supporter and actually quote unquote quoted to be the founder of the free lunch program that was adopted by the U.S. government. And since we talking about that, like issues. That's one thing that I think was really important about being a black person teaching or being a part of a black school because with that, I can understand if this kid is functioning the way he functioning. I dealt with kids that I knew that it was a shooting on his block that day, so he might not have slept last night, or they could have been his brother, father, uncle, whoever. So with that understanding, I know why he off. I know why he came in and he was wilding today and he didn't want to hear nothing from nobody because he had a different night. Or this kid, he woke up and he don't really eat right. I used to deal with my kids. One of my things, not to boast about what I did, but it was kids that I would see outside of the school and I would see how they live and I'd be like, okay, he lives, you know, he's more socially advanced than what I would think he would be. But that lets me know also like how to go along with him. Like I can have certain conversation pieces with this kid because I know he's gonna be authentic and real, and then we can find solutions to his life. You know, all right, we know your parents don't make enough money. You don't eat breakfast. All right, we're gonna figure out some wiggle room. Or we know that you come in late every day because your father getting off overnight. He tired as hell. So you getting to school at 8:30. You need to be at 7. But I know you're gonna be hungry too. So let me get you a breakfast and tuck it to the side, you know, I'll actually walk a kid down there. You know, I feel like I was always the guy that I saw the picture a little bit bigger than what it was anyway. You know what I mean? Because I understand it's tough for a kid to come to a school and then spend a lot of time there and still still function at a high capacity when one of the teachers and I'm in the building getting tired around 3:32 with them. So I feel like some of that stuff wasn't useful. Like the thing about charter schools, I like some of the things they did, but I don't agree with a lot of it. I didn't agree with some of the disciplinary things as well, because the whole aspect is for us to basically discipline them so they can be conscious of their actions, but also that too, like I said, can help them later in life. If kids are function off of emotion because they see this dude on the corner function off emotion, they kill somebody because he's mad, and then they go listen to the music and the music says okay to function off negative emotion, and then they go watch TV and they play Grand Theft Auto video games and they see it on movies and they think a man supposed to shoot stuff and beat stuff up all the time, then it kind of does lead our kids somewhere, and especially if they promoting it a lot in our stuff. So I think as an educator, like I said, the responsibility is not just come to work and clock in and get the job done, but it's like, how am I really preparing these kids that look like me for life? Like, how am I preparing them after this? Because I know their mom might not prepare them, their dad might not, but what role can I have in their life with that I could prepare them? Because I know there's a lot of factors that they're gonna face. And a lot of these young babies in my class right now are not gonna make it. 3 might die in 10 years, 2 years, just somebody gonna get locked up. 3 of these, 4 of these kids might do prison bids. 2 of these girls gonna be hoes or strung out with it. You know what I mean? I gotta, it's a fact. I'm going to be in the classroom with these kids and they fate could go one way, but I can influence a few of these
To
kids.
make it positive.
A few of them going.
Hashtag be the influence.
Yeah.
And I'm all for that, giving kids rewards and all of that and everything. But at the same time, to give you a little pushback, you need to have levels of discipline. Because if you're just giving them all of this positivity all the time, they think they're gonna go into the world and they can do whatever they want to do, and there's not gonna be no consequence.
Not for y'all.
And that's the only pushback I have at my workplace, is that we are setting these kids up to fail outside of the school system. We're making them book smart. We give them all love and support. We're great in that aspect, but we're setting up to go out there to do something like, I don't know, commit a crime and then expect that it's going to turn around 10, 15 minutes later, they're going to be free and they're going to go home. That's not right. They have to learn that there is consequences, right? There's consequences to your actions. And if we don't instill that into them, then they're being set up to fail. So that's why I firmly believe you gotta work on the whole child, bro. You can't just work on just their mind or just their emotion, and you can't just be like, oh, just give them the room to be creative. You have to guide them. I mean, if you don't point them in the right fucking direction, then how they fucking gonna know? Too many schools is out here saying give them the freedom to be themselves. They don't know who they want to be, what's right, what's wrong, and we're not setting an example. And if they only seeing people that don't look like them do it, they only seeing white people do it, they're gonna say that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's not, look around the corner. That's not what we do. We don't.
Because you see their realities there. And you right about that whole point too. Like they need boundaries. Like anybody needs boundaries. Everybody needs boundaries, yo. Because of that, if we don't got boundaries, certain stuff gonna happen to us that we don't respect. You know what I mean? And I fully agree with that. But I think we do start with the emotion first, because once we can gauge our emotion and know what to do with our emotion, we can determine anything at that point. If I know just because you having a tough day or fucked up day, you like, fuck you, bitch ass nigga, I don't have to respond. I don't have to say nothing. I can just get out of his way. I don't have nothing because I'm at peace with myself. I know how to regulate my emotions. But you look at me and I'm looking like, what the fuck you looking at? We already know this is not going to go nowhere. This is going to get crazy. So I think emotional, definitely tapping in, our black kids, we really, and I know it's something that I developed, and I feel like it's something that's developed. And then once you develop it, it's almost like it's condoned. Boys will be boys. And, he's just like his dad. And we accept it in these little ways rather than saying, yo, nah, bro, go do 10 push-ups to get that out. Or go sit there and get it right.
But most times, not to cut anybody off, it's coming from a negative place. They're not like, oh, he's just like his dad because his dad's positive. No, they're saying that because I hate your dad. I think your dad's low. So
it is subliminal. It is subliminal sometimes.
Let's make sure we. That's what they mean when they say that. But I think that kids, if when a kid look at you as an older person, if they can see a part of themselves being like you, they'll listen to you.
Mhm.
If they look at you as a lame, like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
you're wasting your breath.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be sitting there like, as soon as you leave the room, don't bring him back. Don't bring him back. Didn't you say that about one of the dudes at a recent?
Yeah. At one
That
of the
wasn't-
things, a
They
kid
wasn't
did
feeling
say
his
that.
style, right?
Yeah, because they feel like he was. One thing about, and this is about anybody, not just kids. Everybody want to feel like they heard, and everybody want to be respected. And the guy, because, and this one thing I always got this saying where I say that your age don't really determine your wisdom. Like everybody think because I'm 50, I'm supposed to be wise, or I'm supposed to be. Your age don't determine your wisdom.
Yeah,
Your age is it's only just your time allotted here. So QG at 31, 32 years old, you can have more experience than a 60-year-old man. And this is a fact, but they won't consider that. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things I feel like.
Some will, some, not the majority, because you when we get older, is we gonna look at the younger people like y'all smarter than us. That's how it's always that way. People that's older than my grandfather in their 90s, they're looking at the 80s guy like, y'all ain't been. And then it's the same. Look at us.
That's a fact.
You don't know nothing.
No.
So you ain't grow up in the 90s when they was really going hard.
Nah,
We say the same thing.
I think we're more balanced.
Okay.
I think because you got to think. You already specified the times about the masculinity aspect. If we was still like your grandfather and the other dudes,
It's not left.
then it would be a different outcome. But you gotta understand, like our generation is more flexible. We are very flexible. Our generation of men, we was raised, but a lot of us was raised by women. So a lot of our flexibility come off of that. We didn't have a lot of masculinity around
You
it.
got feminine flexibility.
So,
You don't have masculine flexibility. And that's what makes all the money and makes all the decisions in society.
Going back to the education aspect of it, you bring up feminism again. Most women, most teachers are also female, not even just white, but a lot of them are female. So the male students are not getting.
That's what's needed.
You know,
the black male teacher that has that his body's in shape. When he says something, he has that voice. They shut the fuck up. The female teacher don't come in there and try to usurp what he said. No. Because you see that happen in schools all the time. The black male try to put his Mac down, then the female teacher come in there and just emasculate him in front of 40 students. I've seen it. Anybody say they ain't seen it, they fucking lying.
Nah, you're right. You're definitely true. So I feel like you're right. Black males need to be seen in it because the boys, we can't. Man, these kids, we know as black men that we under attack all the time for every motherfucking thing. So they need that masculinity. That goes back to talking about discipline. Like discipline can't come from a person that is not viewed as strong. Because you're not gonna respect them if you see him as weak. And naturally, not because of women are weak, but because the way the world portrays them to be, these young boys listen to this rap music is gonna treat them a certain type of way. Even a educator, a black female educator, they're gonna treat them like these songs is telling them to treat them. They're gonna treat them like their father treats their mother. They're gonna treat them like they see being treated on these shows all the time. So they need to see more of us doing more positive shit and being a black educator in the school and interacting with these black female teachers and showing them how a positive relationship look is probably the only time they're going to get to see that. So we need to put ourselves in positions to show these kids how to be men, because they're not. They're getting all this. All they think right now is the world hates me.
You mean
I gotta
show our kids, because white, they got their kids, they got their shit on lock. They gonna make sure their kids educated, go to college, all that. They making sure their kids doing all that. We need to do that for our kids. We worry about everything else, everybody else, but us.
All right, in your opinion, OG Feast, he's an OG. Do you believe that they do it in a more assertive? When you see the white father and his son, is he passive with him or is he assertive with him?
Now you gotta be assertive. It gotta be balanced. It gotta be balanced.
It depends on the white
father.
You gotta nurture your child, but at the same time, like you gotta be stern on him. You gotta be on his ass. You gotta make sure he's going the right way. But at the same time, you gotta give him that love. You gonna seek that shit elsewhere.
Right.
And it really leads to the street.
Now, if we look at Indian cultures, Asian culture, are they passive to their children, the father to the son and the daughter, or are they the Nigerians? Are they passive to their children?
Everybody's on their kids' ass.
Yeah,
Everybody's on their kids' ass,
Alright.
making sure their kids is doing what
But
they
when
gotta
you look
do.
at who's running society, who's getting higher positions, who have
Those motherfuckers
Wait,
with parents is on their
on
ass.
their
But why?
who winning the spelling bee every year? What group of girls? What group of
The little girl who mother not letting her go outside, she gotta sit down
So-
at the table
And what
and
is
go over
that?
those words a
And-
million times. The little Chinese girl.
No.
They can't go
It's
nowhere.
the East Indians.
It's
They've won it like 10 years in a row. They just had a tie with the boy and the girl. They both were from India.
Hey, Juan, can I ask
They
you a
run it with an
question?
iron fist.
Can I ask you a question? I know we on the topic of masculinity, and I know we specify other cultures, but a lot of those other cultures you mix are not hands-on cultures. Like when we think of the Middle Eastern community, who are they? When we think of the jobs that they fill up, they're not construction, they're not nothing plumbing and stuff like hands-on. They go straight to the technology realm. And that's but we don't
Daddy
think
says you're gonna do that.
but
You don't have
technology.
a choice, my
But
nigga.
listen, technology doesn't
You're not gonna
improve
be a loser.
masculinity. If we're going off the traditional basis, technology doesn't prove masculinity.
It fucks
Hands
it up.
on does.
That's show. Why
It's
are we
like-
the laziest?
It's like
Right.
these days, like different cultures, they conquer like they conquer occupation.
Like they got these certain
like
like
Indians,
sections and shit.
like Indians, they go more for like medicine. Like you see them more in the pharmacies and all. You don't see them inside the hospital, but like it's like they conquer occupation.
But they don't do dirty work.
But that's
stuff.
strategic though. When the baby is made, the dad said, "This motherfucker's gonna do this," and that's what they become. It isn't no. Well, I don't want to do that. I don't like. Fuck what you don't like.
Maybe
I
now.
want you to make 100,000 a year. I don't want you to be. Oh, can you give me a ride? Which one you want to
But
be?
maybe now.
We're gonna be honest on this show. This is the collective.
I feel like
baby.
now
Tune in.
a lot of these coaches are shifting, man. Like
I don't know.
the kids are shifting, man.
I think
They're
we did it
gonna-
better. I think
Yeah.
we, as blacks,
Becoming
becoming more
very
assertive
smart.
because the fathers are starting to get power back, slowly but surely. You see some fathers like, nah, you gonna read this book, you gonna hang with me today. All day need you, no mommy time, no
It's more
auntie
present,
time.
yeah,
You
it's
see it
more
now.
present.
In the 90s, they didn't show us that our fathers was getting high, riding around in cars with bitches that wasn't our moms.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest and stop this sugar-coated rainbow fairy tale shit.
Yeah, nah. The whole
They ain't give
the
a fuck
whole-
about us. Niggas is so. How am I at 32 smarter than niggas that's 50? It should not be that way. It's always the older ones teach the little ones. Until it's time for you to push him off the bridge. I should not be able to teach my grandfather that's anything. Because no idea is original. The same way bitches was fucking, the same way people was materialistic, they was doing the same thing when he was a fucking kid and he came up here like at 19. They was doing the same thing. Bitches want gold and silver, niggas want pussy. Same thing. They was teaching the kids the same curriculum. You're gonna get up, you're gonna get a factory job. What the fuck the kids do? They got up, they worked for Ford, they worked for all these. You had a job for 20 years, it was good money. Now, I don't want to do that. I want to do what I want to do. Be a loser. Be a loser.
There's a difference though, because if you talk about like your grandfather, aka Dad's pops, they got to see there was more ownership black culture wise too.
But there's more foot to the ass too. They outside, they in wars. It's more, I gotta make it happen. Ain't no welfare for me. Ain't this for me. Mommy not gonna do this for me. Auntie ain't gonna, grandma ain't gonna do this for me. My grandfather came up here by his motherfucking self.
And then less distractions too. I think another thing is like they didn't watch TV how we watch TV. They really did, like they would read books and they would or they're working or they read and they sharpening something, whether it's the muscles, the mind, whatever. They sharpen more than us. And now we're so distracted by phones, computers.
Now, what would you say about the preservation of men in prison? Who has the best physiques naturally when they come out? Because they have, what do they usually focus on? The ones that are most successful at that. Those three things: their body, their mind, and spirit.
Yeah.
That's why they come out. They're young. They 40. They look, nigga, you got so much wear and tear. Because I'm out here in the world going through all the shit dealing with the devil. You been there to focus on yourself 24 hours a fucking day. And look at what you can become.
They sleep more than us.
This
They do a lot more than
man,
us.
the next episode we're gonna talk about more manhood. Because there's so much that entails into that, man. To when you see where they pulled it from you, but they do it when you're young. Why was all these kids singing all these R&B songs, me in the school with all these girls jumping rope? You're supposed to be doing push-ups and what? You think the Spartans had the little boys with the little girls playing around? No, they was making sure they were soldiers when it was time to defend the fucking. It wasn't no dad. I don't want to do that. They said, no, Dad, let me do it. I'll kill all of them for you. But look at what they saw. Daddy,
Rolling
can you buy me
definitely,
these
yeah,
sneakers?
that's
You,
a fact.
you don't want to
That's
buy me those
100%.
sneakers? I hate you, Dad. Now I'm going to go to school and give everybody a hard time and act like everything's wrong and you're a bad dad. This is what we see too. So now you like, damn. Is it the teacher or is it my kid? Because sometimes I had white teachers
I don't
bend over
blame the
backwards
teacher.
for Lamar Bradford. I told them my situation. They saved my motherfucking life. My mother was in jail. This is fact. Mr. Botnick saved the
Let me chime in.
nigga.
Let me chime in real quick.
Facts.
And that's crazy that you say that because the most significant male figures in my life include two white men from West Kenny School. This white now, I had a black teacher, black educator. His name was Mr. West. You're putting him out there because this nigga was a piece of shit. He would tell me, only reason you get out of this school is because you have to. You don't know this, you're never gonna know this, and you're not gonna be anything. Meanwhile, the white teacher down the hall allowed me to start a fucking a biology club. They made sure that I got to school, picked me up in the morning, brought me home. We stopping at Wendy's, we stopping at McDonald's getting food. I called Mr. Ho, told this white man saved my life. Hit him up,
Facts.
hit him up anytime. Mr. Ho, I missed the bus. Mr. Ho was at my door with the van picking me and 7 other kids up. We was the worst kids in the school. He putting his neck on the line. We could have jumped this man. We could have robbed this man. Anything. Coming to pick us up, feeding us, putting us on the debate team. This nigga, he took me down to fucking Virginia to debate. He said I can do something great. I never thought in a million games, nigga, I'm from North. Well, I don't like debating with niggas from New York, from these fucking prestige ass schools. Meeting niggas like Kaz, going down there, we beating the shit out these kids verbally. Using our mind, busting their ass, coming in first, second, third place, varsity level, talking about politics. Never in a million years did I ever think that I could do that. I never heard nobody tell me, you can beat that white boy. You better than them. The first time I heard it came from a white man. And that's crazy to me.
You
That
had somebody
just
putting
blew my
that
mind.
effort into you though.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy because I know for a fact I didn't. Like a lot of us, we can probably didn't. But it's like that shit feels great when you got somebody that's like, yo, you could do that shit. Fuck what
Yeah, it don't
everybody
matter
saying.
really where it comes from.
Like just that
A lot
that
of the
little
time.
push, like that shit does a lot.
Because we so successful in hearing all the negativity of why we can't and why you won't and why you ain't never gonna be. When it is somebody shining a little bit of light on you, no matter what color they is, it do feel good. You know what I'm saying? That's why especially it should come from a teacher. It's somebody other than who you deal with at home. Some people be like, oh, my mother aggravated as hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fact.
My father, I don't feel like, hey, I already know what time I'm on, whatever. You go to school, the teacher on some cool shit, you know what I'm saying? You feel like you could talk to your teacher and you could tell him some shit you really going through that need to be heard. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, especially having kids, I be like, yo, that's why I go to the PTA meetings. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm smart enough to read people. I know what you putting on the fake or you putting on the front. I want to know who you gonna be around my child. Like, I want to know if I have to worry because I'm already worried. I'm already worried from the rip. Like I worry, my daughter get on the school bus in the morning. I'm worried who the bus attendant is. Like I come out, I watch it. I put it on the shit. I put the seatbelt on. I'm just. They like, nah, Dad, we got it. I'm like, nah, I got it.
Yeah, we good.
I got it. Let me see. Y'all trying to get up out of here all quick. Like put my daughter in the seat.
Man, shit.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's being a father. Like
And calling them where y'all at. You know what I mean? Y'all about to get my daughter late to school. Like I could do this myself. I was already doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to go back to what we talking about the strong male leaders in these kids' lives. So most of the time, it got to start with the father. Like you going to school to look for that. You shouldn't be going to school to look for that.
fact.
If dad at home doing what he's supposed to do, the guy at school shouldn't have to make up for so much of what he not doing. You know what I'm saying? Like that ties in. But like I said, we changing the narrative. Like I always say, we changing the narrative. Everybody that I know, we maybe deadbeat dads do exist, but they don't run in my circle. You know what I'm saying? Everybody I know, they that been in their mind from what they went through. That's why it's traumatic experiences. Just like you said, kids come to school. It's traumatic experiences. Like It's
Mhm.
people that can't relate to that. These people can't relate to what these kids is really going through at home. It could be the smallest thing, but it'll be a big thing to somebody else.
Mhm.
It's a small
That's
thing to
the
us
mindset.
because we used to going through the shit.
Psych.
That's
You know what I'm
that nigga's
saying?
mountain, so he can't
Yo,
climb that.
you hearing gunshots outside and people not even
Man,
running.
man.
People like, oh damn, that was some big shit.
Word, you
That
just
was
numb to
big.
the
You
shit.
know what I'm
it's
saying? Like,
whatever.
I mean,
It's,
shots
it's,
was
you
that.
was in a different neighborhood. People would be ducking, jumping under cars, and
Cops
all
getting
that.
called.
It's traumatic shit that we so used to.
During school time, in school, you're hearing this. Remember,
Yo,
this is in
yeah, I was
school.
about to say, yeah,
Niggas is
yo.
getting on.
Hey,
Blah, 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 blah.
In
Niggas-
school,
They might be
yo.
coming to look for you at school, depending on what you're dealing with. Nope. Not
Hey,
saying no name.
Quan, back to Quan, because you
It's
was headed somewhere,
I
bro.
just want to get that off.
But,
Shootings
Yo, yo.
during school.
Yeah, that's true.
but like we saying, basically, all I just was trying to say was we changing that narrative and being them fathers that these kids need, and along with who they dealing with at school, just like you said, Hazy Trek, my nigga Hazy Trek just said, having that coalition and the strong women. Don't forget the strong
Strong
women
women,
because
yeah,
they always
yeah.
been there. The
Yep,
strong
the
women
women.
always been there. It just was what we was doing wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But we changing that now, especially Grim Collective. We gonna definitely change that.
And
That's
even more on that point, like it's crazy because like everybody that I be with that I know that got kids, everybody a good dad. So it's like I look at some of the women like, damn, like and some of the stuff I hear, like, yo,
What
you living like that? Like, damn, like
What
the
bad
shit be
choice you
crazy.
made?
Like, yo,
Enough strong fathers like you and like Feast that talk about being present in the school system because a lot of the time, unfortunately, not the bad talk women, but there are women that are bitter and hold their kids from their father, and the father just is not able to be in that kid's life. I've
they
seen
use
it
them as
firsthand.
pawns.
I've seen it firsthand. So just moving forward, and this goes to mothers and fathers, let both of y'all parent these children because at the end of the day, you're fracturing the child. They are not whole if both y'all are not functioning. They're picking up on every little thing. And I'm telling you, as a teacher, these kids are coming to these schools and they're telling us.
Mhm.
We know all y'all business. We know
Yep.
where y'all was at last night, who
Yep.
you was with, how much money you had, what you was
at the
drinking.
house?
Let me tell you,
I'm there. Now, when we was kids in the 90s, when our parents was out there doing their thing and living their life, it was their life. It was under a rug to an extent.
Mhm.
Now, when I go to school, I could go on the internet and see, damn, my mom was at such and such with such and such. Or my dad was, but he missed my practice, or he missed. You see now, so what do you, brothers? How do y'all feel those situations should be in?
I just want to say this real quick, just to chime in on what you said. I was just thinking about this earlier today. You know, back in the day, like shit like cigarettes. Like when our parents were smoking cigarettes, oh, go in the other room, don't smoke a cigarette. Or your mother was having conversation with her friends, and I mean they started cursing. So, oh, go in there.
Yup.
We had
Yup.
grown folks
Yeah, this
conversation.
grown folk
Like,
conversation.
Yep.
nowadays, like your mother friend twerking right next to you, and your mother recording and putting it on live. And shit.
That's a fact. Like it's fucked up.
We're not sexist or biased. We just
At all. It's
Keeping it
just
a
real
buck.
shit.
It's just
It's
real
just
shit, honestly.
But to your
Shit,
point,
I know I did fucked up shit around, like, you know, it's a learning process. When I was younger, when I first had my son, I was a little bit younger. I was 19. I used to do shit that I shouldn't have did around my son. I won't do it today. Like, it's all about learning. Like, somebody, especially when somebody tell you or you find out different or you learn otherwise, you're supposed to apply that. Like, you can't ignore it. A lot of people just ignore the shit that they learn.
apply knowledge.
I know
is the
right
best
from wrong
knowledge.
and won't even, I mean,
And that's the
acknowledge it.
fool, man. That's
Yeah,
the fool
exactly. It's a lot
that
of
know
fools that know better.
what it is and then don't.
A lot of
follow.
people know
That's
better.
really
They just
your fault
wanna
when
be
it's
cool.
that way.
yeah, I like that point. Fees made a point about like ain't no manuscript for parenting. Like you really figure it out, but there are like moral rules to like we all know the moral rule codes behind parenting. Like it's certain you're not supposed to just do certain stuff to your kids and expose your kid to certain things. But
All right, your kid is excellent in school. He go to school, he do his number. Clean, you get the girls, he teaches like him and everything, but for some strange reason, the students want to smoke with him all the time. How do you handle that as a father? Trying to be clean. The thug is still in you. You don't want to go there with kids, but how do you protect your kid when your kid is elite in a classroom full of non-elite students?
Make that nigga elite all around.
That's a hard one, right? Because I actually, like recently, this school year, I had a couple problems with my daughter, with a couple other little girls. You know, so the first couple of times it was like, all right, you know, my kids live in a different state, so it's like that's what makes it even harder. Like the first couple times, it's like, all right, let me just talk to the teacher. Maybe I can have her sit down with the parents and get things right. I mean, do the right way. And then after the situation keeps going and is escalating and escalating, now it's like, all right, as a parent, like this is threatening my child. And if it's threatening my child, it's only gonna make me mad. It's only gonna make me angry. So now when I'm calling the school, like I got a totally different approach. Like I'm not talking like the father. I'm talking like the hood nigga. Like, listen, y'all better get this shit together. Or I'm coming down there. But seriously,
that's
when it
really
comes
good.
to your kids, like you gotta treat my kids
as
right.
as a
Like,
father, I always feel like as a man, I know I'm not perfect, but I understand there's two sides to every man. Like, so I try to keep the balance and I try to stay positive, but I understand that everybody is not going to treat my kid how I treat them, or people don't raise their own kids to be how like my kid. That's just the retrospect of life. But I feel like your son should have a button that y'all can press at times to like make a point, like, all right, it's only so I don't want my son. I always tell my son till the day, like, you ain't going to school to be nobody punching bag, anything. We do our own little boxing talk or put them in, whatever click camp or whatever, just to sharpen them up. But always we practice it and we talk about it and we talk about situations and stuff like that. But understand, like, I think as a parent, especially having men, they're going to get tried, and I feel like they just got to go through the motions. So some stuff you're not going to be able to kind of curtail or be able to. I could speak to somebody father in a PTA meeting or something, and me speaking to their father in the PTA might seem like a great resolve, and then tomorrow his son could want to come in and punch my son in the face, but my son still got to be equipped. All right, listen, I'm prepping my son regardless. But I'm also going to say, like, listen, this your last resort. But I don't firmly just how the kind of sort of like the guidelines we follow on the street. I kind of it's still some type of understanding and some type of principles in some of that stuff. Like you don't want nobody feeling like they have the availability or accessibility to do anything to you or your body. You know what I mean? Because if one latch on, other people gonna latch onto that. My son wanna be like, hey, how you doing? And it's like, yo, bitch ass nigga. All right, you can remove yourself from that. But if he want to pursue something more than that, you by all means, this is what you prep for. These are the situations where you got to figure it out. I can't take every step for you. You know what I mean? As parents, sometimes we gotta let our kid go through. I remember my mom, no bullshit. My sister, somebody came to our apartment building, wanting to fight her. My sister wasn't even that type of person, and my sister wasn't no punk. My mom was like, all right, put your stuff on there. We all going outside. But that was a life lesson. Sometimes you got to get those life lessons, but you got to believe too. You got to understand that that girl never came back to the house because the point was proven. You know what I mean? Whether the fight was won or lost, it was this family, at least they have some type of morals. They stand on something. My sister ain't get beat up or nothing. You know what I mean? But the mere fact is there was no other issues behind it. Because sometimes everything can't be met with a Coke and a smile. Everything ain't gonna be met with a come on, please don't punch on me. Like some stuff has to be met with some type of counteracting, some kind of counter current reaction. And we look at this now, like this is how life goes. We know that there's been wars and stuff that happened in history. So, it just gotta sometimes it has to go down. And that's just my understanding as a parent, but that's the last option. We're gonna try to explore other ways, but if war gotta happen, it just gotta happen. You figure it out.
Man, that was great. That was some good stuff. I think we got a lot of good points out there, fellas. Hopefully, we educated a couple of you people and got your eyes open to see how important it is to have black educators in our school system. How important it is for parents to be active in the school system as well. We have a Valentine's Day special coming up, where we're going to have some female guests on to talk about relationships and give relationship advice. We're going to have that conversation. So you guys don't want to miss that because my views of relationship is way different from their views of relationship. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be a great show. It's going to be dropping on Valentine's Day, so it's not going to be our usual time slot on Saturdays 9 a.m. It's going to be on Friday at 9 a.m. So make sure you guys tune into all of that. And as always, the Growing Collective wants to thank you for the love and support. And we out.
Yeah.
Oh.
You.